Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I am off to my next project here and kind of getting it going and organized. And what it is on this one, I wanted to make some, I'm going to call them Destash journals. Okay, so what that is I kind of had this idea roaming around in my head, and then I've seen some other crafters or journal creators working on similar things. So recently I was inspired to continue on this idea by, it's really strange when you start thinking of something and then you see other people doing very similar or the same kind of things, and that just helps you, kind of get all your thoughts together and figure out what you want to do. But the people that I was watching on this is JD at Willowbound Journals. She made some, I guess they were Destash journals. Don't remember exactly what she called them, but just a mix of really nice papers that were bound. They were the Twine bound journals that she made. And then also the other person was Melanie Sullivan, is making some scrappy journals, which are really cute. So I'm watching her little series on that. And so what my idea was, kind of more of a Destash. I guess it could be similar to scrappy, except I'm not really using my scraps, except for you could consider my Reader's Digest books pages that I've been using in my last couple of videos. Here's some more. Still got plenty. My scraps. And then the other thing is the Destash pages. So this is what I've got organized so far. I kind of started it last night or the night before, and then started on the pages, and I was going with different covers, and I didn't like the quality of the covers I started with, so I got rid of those and just put those in my scrap pile, you could say, and decided I wanted a stronger cover. So like here's the covers that I've picked up because I made these pages so far from books. They're book pages. So like what I've got here is, let me move this for a second and put it down. Let me show you the pages. I have my books organized in my closet. I have some here in my craft room. I have some shelves that I showed in my craft room video tour, the last updated one. And I had just gotten those shelves. So on those shelves, I have organized my books into categories like cookbooks, children's books, atlases, things like that. So I have two shelves of kind of miscellaneous. So like that's what I'm kind of using as my Destash here, the miscellaneous. And that's what I bought them for. I really bought them for kind of a miscellaneous journals and things like that I wanted to work with. So in this little packet right here, I have things like the Berenstain Bears. These are all vintage books. So another children's book, craft book. And let's see if I have any other pages in here so far. No, I think that's it. So I'm going to add some of these Reader's Digest pages. And then like here's another example. They're really going to be cute, and just a wide mix of pages, different pages in here. I did have a math book in here, I thought. This might be the math book right here in the middle. It just had a plain page in the front that I cut up. So this is one book, a little friendship book. See, that one fits in here. These pages fit in here. Like I already had the other covers that I decided I didn't like, so I went back and found books that fit the pages I already had prepared. So this little book fit, and it's a strong, hard cover, so those will fit in there. Then I found this little book, Winnie the Pooh and Some Bees, and I'm going to use these pages in here too, of course, but these will fit in this book. And then This book I showed during my Reader's Digest, I think my Reader's Digest journals, where I was using, yeah, that's what it was, for the July journal from a Simple Kit challenge, those group of videos. I had showed this book here because this was my children's books that I was using. And I showed you this book because it's the Paddington Bear book that I used. I used the book pages. See, all the book pages are gone. And I was disappointed because this had a D on it. And I just love this little picture here. But I just can't use that. And I was thinking, I don't know why. I wasn't even thinking that I could cover this up. I was just thinking I can't use this book. And I mentioned that in the video. And Maria from Maria's Miscellany commented under that video, which she has some awesome ideas. She always comes up with things I don't think of. So she said, well, why don't you cover it up? And I was like, of course I can cover it up, duh. You know, why didn't I think of that? So I said, okay, let me see what I have to cover it up with. And I experimented with a couple of different things, book pages. But what I came up with that I like best was this piece of lace right here. Looks, you know, covers them up pretty good. You can still see them through. But then I was going through that Berenstain Bears book, and it had these cute little bears, of course. And so I tried this bear right here. And because he was a similar size, but I couldn't use him by himself because you see, I still need more coverage. So I put this lace there and this bear, and I think that will look really cute if I adhere that to this cover over, you know, that problem area. And then what Maria said was, you know, you have this cute little border, you can just cover up the bear. So I still have the cute little border, and I still have this part down here that talks about the name of the book. And then I cover up him. Now I could cover up this whole thing, but I think it looks cute just like that. I sometimes cover up as least of the book cover as I can when I like the book cover, because I mean, I think that's part of the whole charm, to leave as much of this picture as I can. So I think I'm going to go with that and maybe try to include this for some larger book pages in this project. So I'll have like this size, I'll have this size, which is, you know, quite a bit smaller than this one, and then this one's even smaller. So I'm going to be cutting 3 different sizes here, which if I was, you know, I mean, what I would really like to do is do all 3 the same size. That would be so much easier, but I'm making it a little difficult on myself and having to cut 3 different size pages at the same time. But I want to do it. I want to try this. And then I'm going to try the twine binding like JD is doing. And she said she got her inspiration from someone else. But I have 2 different cords that I want to try. So I'm going to, this is kind of an experiment with the twine binding. And I figure if I don't like it, I can take it off and use regular, you know, sewn in binding if I really have a problem with it, because I've never done the twine binding before. But I've got this little kit that I had bought from Amazon. And in case you're wondering where to get wax cord, I ordered this kit, and I ordered it from Amazon. Here's the name, Simsia Leather Wax Cord. It's a kit, and it comes with 8 different colors. And it also comes with needles, bookbinding needles. So I've shown this before, but in case you didn't see that video and you're new to my channel, here's the needles it comes with. It quite a few and different. I think there's 3 and 3 of the type. So there's 3 of one type and 3 of another type. But there's this long one with a very sharp end, and then there's a little bit shorter one with a dull end. So I guess you can choose which one you might like better. I've used both of those. So yeah, just in case you're wondering, I mean, that's where I got my wax cord. You can find it in different places, I'm sure, but that's where I got it. So in case anyone was wondering, I wanted to show you that. And it's a nice little kit. I just keep it in this box in my desk over there on the other side of my craft room. And I know right where it is when I need it. And then I've had this, I've never used it, but I have this stretchy cord here. And I thought I might try that. That seems like it would work as far as, and I think I've seen people use that as far as holding the pages in. I just want to make sure I use something that will hold the pages in sturdily. And the idea is to be able to take pages out and use them in other projects. Or even if you want to use these as a journal, you can move the pages around or add pages, you know what I mean? Or say you do something to a page and you don't like it. And, you know, instead of having to rip it off, you can just slide it out from under the binding. So that's the idea of these twine bindings. And so I'm going to try this to see. I just want to make sure, like I said, whatever I use is sturdy enough to hold the pages in. Doesn't, you know, but I can tie it tight enough and it doesn't rip the pages. You know, I don't want this, if I use this, I don't want this to rip through the pages. You know what I mean? How if you tie your binding real tight, sometimes you can actually rip your pages. So I'm going to be experimenting with these two types of, you know, cord. And then at the same time while I'm making these, my idea is, another reason I'm calling this Destash is I'm going to actually make some Destash little piles of, or stacks, whatever you, bundles, whatever you want to call them, of pages, these pages that I'm using in these journals for my Etsy shop. So like what I've got so far is, here's a page from, this is an example, I've got 10 stacks going, okay? So this is a page from the children's book. This is really cute old children's book. It was precious. I almost hated to take it apart, but I managed. And then here's the Berenstain Bears book. These have really cute images in them, of course, and nice big pages. So like if you needed some book pages, you wouldn't have to go out and buy, you know, I don't know how many I'm going to end up using, but I'm going to use quite a few, so there's going to be quite a few pages in these stacks. But, you know, if you need some pages and you don't want to go out, say, and buy 20 books, you can get one of my stacks. You know, that's the kind of idea. Plus, I get to reduce the size, the amount of books in my closet, which I really need to do. So here's another Berenstain Bears. I think I put one single page in each one like this, and then I put up one double page like this. So you'll be able to have nice big pages to do, you know, make bigger journals or cut up or whatever you want. This is a page, let's see, this is a double page also. And this is from a very old algebra book. And it's really cool and just, you know, aged. It's got, you know, the aging coloring on here. And I was going to cut this off for these stacks, this right here. Then I thought, you know, that looks really cool. Somebody might want that left, you know. And so I'll let you, whoever gets these stacks, cut that off if you want. Or you have the option of using those. And it's just that this, I mean, this book was hard to get apart. It was really you know, high quality, well-constructed book because it was stapled in, it was glued in, it was sewn in. It was crazy to get apart. I had to use some major muscle and get this apart. But, and this is what I was left with. You can see there's a little tear right there. But, you know, that's why this is this is a Destash. So, you know, I'm trying to get perfect pages, but also maybe you know, want some grungy pages or whatever. So there's going to be a big, you know, wide variety of different pages in here, different sizes. And so I've got these 10 stacks going. And what I thought I would do, something fun, was at the end, when I get this all done, these 3 books, get my stacks organized and done, I'm going to, you know, keep showing you my progress and what I've decided, like on the binding and things like that. but I'm also going to give away one of the stacks. I thought that would be cool because I think I've mentioned it. I want to do a giveaway, but the hardest part for me is to figure out what to give away. I want to give you something in my giveaway that you want. Something really cool, you know? So, something that I would want, you know what I mean? And this would be, I think this would be really fun. This will be really fun when I get done with it. It'll be a fun stack of pages. So, that's what I'm going to do. And so, I will get back to you with my progress. And I'm going to go get ready for work today. And I hope you all have some time to craft today. So, have a great day and happy crafting. See you next time.